The ancient Sumerian civilization are well known for having invented the city concept that we use today. This seemingly planned urbanization began around 9,500 years ago with the development of Mesopotamian cities, including Eridu, Uruk, and Ur. There are few moments in human history which mark significant points in our physical, behavioral, and cultural evolution of humans on Earth. But one of the significant pivotal leaps our ancestors made was from an unstable life as, well, what were we again? Yeah, whatever we were, we went from that to being earthling settlers with permanent residence here, and that began in Mesopotamia. The concept was a gift from the Sumerian gods, known as the Anunnaki, a stunning realization of a utopia society that was once only a dream in the imagination of a subject of the gods, an imagined community that possesses highly desirable qualities for its citizens. That was the gift of the gods, and that is what we call a city today. Ancient authorities are strangely notable for their diversity in form and function. Theories that attempt to explain ancient urbanization by a single factor, such as economic benefit, fail to capture the range of variation documented by archaeologists. Excavations at these sites show that some ancient places were sparsely populated political capitals, whereas others were thriving trade centers, and some ancient cities grew to be powerful capitals and centers of commerce and industry, situated at the centers of growing ancient empires. None of these diversities would have been possible without the intervention that took place in the eyes of the Sumerians during these biblical times. And from these ancient events emerged the reawakening of our people from a before time that we know very little about. As a people, we are incomplete because we are missing a huge chunk of the history of who we are. But from the things that we re-emerged from, we may find clues to the past. What we mean by this, guys, is the fact that early inventions by these very early civilization appear to be born of something that was previously present, yet no such artifacts exist that links a forgotten past to the reemergence, and the timeline of the history they are insisting upon is a completely squeezed effort to confuse our understanding of who we are. Historian Samuel Noah Kramer once said that the people of Sumer had an unusual flair for technological invention. It was like the modern-day explosion of technological advancements, only that these people were not advancing technology, they were inventing it, and in doing so, they laid down the very foundation of civilization as we know it. In what the Greeks later called Mesopotamia, Sumerians invented new technologies and perfected the large-scale use of existing ones. In the process, they transformed how humans cultivated food, built dwellings, communicated, and kept track of information and time. They had few trees, almost no stone or metal, and that forced them to make ingenious use of materials such as clay, which some say was the plastic of the ancient world, and they used it to make everything from bricks and pottery to tablets for writing. Perhaps the ancient Sumerians' real genius may have been organizational. They had the ability to take inventions that they had been developing elsewhere and apply them on a much bigger scale. This way, they could mass produce goods such as textiles and pottery that they could then trade with other people. There was something in the Sumerian identity that drove them to dream big and think ingeniously. Spiritually and psychologically, they laid great stress on ambition and success, preeminence and prestige, honor and recognition. The great civilization's inventions spread to the rest of the populated world and led to the development of the modern world that we live in today. If civilization spread from this very ancient place, then it can be assumed to be a cradle for civilization. And from this place where the ancient things exist, the ideology from the before time re-emerged. At this place, the switch was made from uncivilized to civilized, and this is the world of today. The envisioned utopia, and one we are of course still developing and improving upon, just like the Sumerians of old, we too are advancing olden inventions to meet our modern requirements today, and in doing so, we are extending the use of Sumerian technological thinking. The quantum leaps in understanding that took place in Mesopotamia during these ancient times are well documented in the cuneiform text. You would have to surmise that if these stories are documented for posterity, and cultures across the earth are telling similar stories of these events, right down to our own modern interpretations of biblical events, then maybe it's all true. All of it. All the so-called mythology and biblical events. Maybe all these ancient stories of the gods coming to earth in their many forms are true. Maybe. Just maybe. What do you guys think about the ancient Sumerians anyway? Comments below, and as always, thank you for watching. Hey guys, this is Buzz Weaver, the voice of the Lost History Channel and Light Up the Dark. I wanted to take a moment and thank you personally for all the support you have given to both channels, and to invite you guys to visit my channel. Yes, we do have separate channels. I cover things like gaming, reviews, how-to, and current events. Each Friday I do a channel vlog which covers activity on my channel, headlines that are in the news, current events, social media, and technology. So stop by, check it out, and consider subscribing, as your support for my channel helps us all. Thanks.